Hello, everybody. My name is Ursi van der Herten, and I'm very happy to be here. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it in person thanks to, well, the political actions that are going on the streets. But I'm very happy to be here in person. I'm also, well, very grateful for the invitation and for the collaboration. So we have also here with us Mr. Najib Ibrahim, who's a career advisor, who most of you will know. So thank you, Najib, for making this possible.
Thank you very much, Lucy.
Yes. Well, what I suggest is before I introduce our amazing students and alumni to you, I would like to give a brief intro presentation about the school, about Esade, about the programs that we're offering. And then I think the most interesting part for you afterwards would be participating to the session and asking all the questions. I have prepared some questions for our students and alumni that I think would be of interest for you, but feel free to prepare your questions, open your camera and your microphone, and so that well, you can also learn and learn about the Esade experience, learn about the programs we offer. So let me share my screen with you. All right. Perfect. All right. Everybody's able to see the presentation, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. So for those of you that have not heard from Esade before, Esade, well, we are a business school that is located in Barcelona. We have several campuses. So we have one campus in Madrid, which is focused on executive education. And then we also have two campuses in Barcelona. One for our master programs and bachelor programs, and then another one for MBA students and executive MBA students. So telling you a little bit more about Esade. Esade, well, was founded 65 years ago in 76 years ago by the Jesuits for the, well, we call it the Society of Jesus. Esade has a really strong focus thanks to this connection with the Jesuits. We have a very strong focus on doing good for society, creating social impact, and also doing good for society, right? What I'm just gonna bring down here. Okay, good. I think when you choose a school, I think it's important to know and to also to see what are the values of the school. So I can tell you about Esade that the first thing that our alumni will tell you also is the collaborative spirit. So teamwork is very important in all our programs. We really promote it through projects and the practical approach, which is a hands-on experience that we are applying in all our programs. And then also a way for you to, we call it focus on you, which is the way for you that you can customize our programs. Now, Esade has the triple accreditation, so a triple crown accreditation. We have three units. We have the business school, the law school, and executive education. So our MSc programs and MBA programs are part of the business school. We work with different partners around the world, depending on the program. It will be a study tour for the MSc program. It will be an exchange program for the full-time MBA program. It will be electives for the executive MBA program. So we have more than 250 exchange agreements on different levels. Now, some numbers. We have currently an alumni association of 73,000 and 74 international chapters, worldwide regional chapters. Every year on campus, more than 15,000 students, and about 125 nationalities. So there's a great diversity on campus. So our campuses are based in Barcelona, as I said. I think everybody has heard about Barcelona. Everybody who's been in Barcelona falls in love with the city. So it's a major hub for startups, innovation. A lot of international global fairs are taking place, like the World Mobile Congress coming to the city every year. A lot of startup companies are setting up their base in Barcelona, also thanks to the new visa agreements, options that we have as digital nomad, entrepreneurship visa, and so on. Some of the rankings of our different programs. For those of you that are interested in that, you can see some rankings of the Financial Times, QS, Poets and Quants, Forbes, and then also Bloomberg. I will be very much happy to send you the presentation afterwards so you can have a further look into that. So Esade offers all layers of education, going from bachelor degrees, MSc programs, full-time MBA, executive MBA, and then also executive education programs and customized programs. So today we're going to focus on the master programs and the full-time MBA programs, taking in account, your profile, being still, doing your bachelor degree, or also recent alumni that have been invited to the session. So our MSc programs, we have 6 programs, with then also the SAMS program, international degree, which is a double degree that you can do after the first program. So we have business analytics, we have finance, focus, innovation, entrepreneurship, international management, marketing management, and then also sustainability management. The structure of our programs is the same for all of them. So you will see that it's a one-year program. We start in September, we finish the classes in June. And then for those of you that want, can do an internship with graduation in October. So 3 terms: first term core courses, second term specialized courses, and then in the last term, where we come to the customized part, where you will decide what you're going to be studying, where you can do electives of your programs, but you can also do electives of all the other programs that we have. In between term 1 and term 2, we have a global experience, which are our study tours that are optional. It's a week program, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that in my next slide. You will see that depending on your background, we will ask you to do a pre-program, which is going to be online. If, for example, you're doing the finance, you don't have a finance background, there's going to be a pre-program in finance. If you're doing business analytics and you don't have a data science background, you will do the data science pre-program. If you have a science background, you will do the business integration path, right? So this is for us to make sure that all of our students have the beginning level for each program. Then we also ask our students to do a project at the end, which could be a master thesis, an in-company project, or a business plan. So for those of you that are choosing to do an internship, you can combine your project, what we call then an in-company project, to your internship. Now, I mentioned the study tours before. So all our programs have 2 or 3 study tours, which are week programs organized together by Esade and our partner schools. So that means that our students are going to be 1 week in one of the partner schools, having class with the professors of that school, doing company visits, and also some time, of course, for cultural activities. We give our students the opportunity to study another language, English, Spanish, German, or French. And then regarding this global exposure, also knowing that, of course, if you're doing an internship, it's not necessarily going to be in Spain. So we offer internships all around the world. So these are our study tours that are currently taking place. You will see the topics of each study tour. And of course, then depending on your interest, you will choose one or the other. So you can see in the States, in Canada, Europe, Asia, so all destinations are present. I mentioned that at the beginning. So we have a second year degree, which is the SAMS-MIM program. SAMS is an international association of 34 business schools. Esade is the only school in Spain that is part of that. This means that if you're doing the SAMS program, it will give you more global exposure in international management. You're going to be doing one term at Esade, one term in one of the other 33 partner schools, and then also a global internship. We also have the option to do a second degree at Esade, so that means that doing one of the other programs that we are offering, or doing an external degree with one of the partners that you see here below in the presentation. The profile of our programs, in total, we have every year about 580 students. It's a very diverse group of more than 70 nationalities, 91 international students. So that means that if you compare with some programs that you would be doing in the States, where you have a majority, I mean, a large number of nationals, of Americans, at Esade, we really keep that limited. So in this case, we have 9% of Spanish in our programs. And here you also see that the majority is coming from Europe, but we also have a good part of students coming from other continents. Moving to the full-time MBA program. What is so special about our program is that, first of all, it is customizable. So you can choose the length of the program. So you can choose 12 months, 15 months, or 18 months. 12 months is a standard program. If you want to do an exchange program or an internship, our students go for the 15 months. If you want to do an exchange program and an internship, then you will choose for the 18 months. Some of our students are also doing 2 or 3 internships, and then, of course, choosing for the 18 months. This is just briefly a summary what is going to be happening in the first year. There are, I would say, a lot of opportunities to customize the program further through our career accelerator programs, through study tours, study tracks, specializations, electives that are going to take place at the end of the program. So here you can see, for those of you that are interested in going into consulting, financial services, technology, healthcare, you will have the opportunity to do 1 or even 2. You can choose 2 of our Career Accelerator programs. So our career team is a team of more than 30 professionals. They're specialized in their sector. So you're going to be working with one of those advisors in all kinds of activities, going from career fairs, going interactions with companies, talking about their industry, doing mock interviews. So they're going to be helping you to prepare for your interviews. They're very much connected with alumni that we have around the world. There are also the first contact with the different companies worldwide. Electives, also some of our electives will be together with our executive MBA, and then we have different labs that you can join: innovation, marketing, entrepreneurship, social impact, and family business. I'm not going to go into details about the courses, but I mean, you can have a deeper look, and I will for sure send you more information on that. Then global exposure. I already mentioned before the different tracks and tours, exchange programs, but then also we have challenge-based projects that we have with different companies, and in this case, every year we have our very famous challenge with CERN in Switzerland. We work with leaders, global leaders from very different sectors, and here you can see some of the collaborators. You must know that our professors are all business practitioners, so they bring in their network of companies. Our programs are very practical, being MSCs, being MBA, so there's going to be a lot of opportunities to interact with companies and also to give yourself exposure and work on real challenges that those companies are facing. The profile of our MBA program, every year about 180 students. We have currently on campus 43 different nationalities. Here you can see that international representation is even higher than in the MSc program. So we have only 2% of Spanish. This year we went down in the female representation, but we're working on that to go back up where we were last year. So we've planned a lot of actions this year in between the different departments at Esade to work on that. And then here you can see the representation from the different continents. So here you will see that we have a very big representation coming from Latin America, but also from Asia and then Europe. And we are growing in Africa. So we are looking for more talent, both for MSc programs and MBA programs. In the MBA program, you have the option, as I said in the beginning, to do an exchange program. If you go for the 15 months or for the 18 months, and you will see that we work here with 47 partners, partner schools worldwide. So it's an amazing opportunity for you if you say, look, I see myself working in the States. Why don't you choose and why don't you decide to do your exchange program there? Because at the end, you will be 3 months fully immersed on the campus of our partner school, interacting with their professors, with their business network, with their career services. So it's a great opportunity to give yourself exposure in another, country, continent, city. Then the study tours, study tracks. The tracks are organized by our student clubs and career service. So there actively, you're going to be meeting companies in other cities, doing interviews or learning about the sector, learning what professionals they're looking for. And then the study tours are organized by the program management. And there you're going to be involved, also meeting companies. You're going to have classes with some of our partner schools. So a really, really great opportunity to get this global exposure. Very briefly, the application process. First of all, I would like to say that it's very fast from our side. So once your application is ready, we immediately go to the admissions committee. You don't have to wait until we get until the official deadlines that you will see on the website. So we have a weekly committee. We take decisions on a weekly basis. So here the good news is, you see it in yellow. So in order to apply for our programs, our candidates have to pay an application fee, which is €135. Now, talking with our management, we are very happy to offer a waiver for all Ashesi graduates. So if you are applying, please let us know. We will have to update the system, your application, so that we can immediately, I would say, validate your application. So we're going to be asking to do an online application. We will need your bachelor degree. We will need a copy of your transcripts. Of course, you don't have to provide an English test because it's your native language, so you have a waiver there. We will ask for recommendation letters, your CV, and then in the application you need to write an essay. So there are some questions. And then we also ask you to do an admissions test. So there you have the choice to do the GMAT, the GRE, but we also have our own test, which is free of charge. So once you submit your application, you can book this test. It's very similar to the GMAT and the GRE. So for those of you that are interested, I'm happy to send you the guidelines so you have a look at how it is structured. I would say it's slightly easier than the GMAT in that way that our test is not adaptive, right? So a work experience for the master programs, we don't require work experience. Having previous internship experience, of course, will add value to your profile. Some of our students, MSc students, do have work experience. But if we go then to the full-time MBA, there we have a strict minimum of 2 years of work experience, knowing that the average work experience in our full-time MBA program is 6 years, and then the average age is 29. Important part, of course, is the financing, and I want to tell you a bit more about all the options that we have available. So for both the MSCs and the full-time MBA program, you can apply for 2 kinds of scholarships. So the Excellence Award is a talent-based scholarship, and we take decisions on a weekly base. So there's a weekly scholarship committee. This scholarship is based on your talent. So we're going to take into account your GPA, your test score, and then also your internship experience that you have, your overall, I would say, motivation, overall profile. So this scholarship goes up to maximum 40% of the tuition fee. Then the second type of scholarship you can apply for is a need-based scholarship. So in this case, of course, it is from one side a talent-based scholarship, and also we're going to be studying your economic situation. So in this case, you will have to provide some additional documents that are listed in the website, and I'm happy to send you more information on that. This scholarship is 75% or 85% of the tuition fee. So we have 3 deadlines. The next upcoming deadline is going to be next week, but then I really recommend to apply, to be ready, to be admitted for the second deadline, which is going to be the 11th of February, knowing that we then still have a large number of scholarships available. Knowing that for the full-time MBA, we have 3 need scholarships available, and then for the master programs, we have 8 of them available. Knowing, of course, that you're coming from the African continent, you're automatically qualified to apply for the scholarship. And then I must say that all the African students that are doing their program with us, being masters, full-time MBA, executive MBA, they all got a scholarship, right? Then some of our students are also combining the scholarship with a loan. There we have different loan providers for African nationalities. There are 3 main providers, which is a Spanish bank, Sabadell. We have Prodigy Finance, and then also in some cases, the Landwise could also be applicable. So yeah. So this, once you are admitted to the program, you can reach out to them and apply. And then see which one will give you the best conditions. Yeah, so I do recommend maybe to wait until you have the decision, at least from the Excellence Award, because having a scholarship, of course, will put you in less risk, in a less risky situation for the bank, and it will be easier for you to be evaluated for the loan. Very briefly, something more information about the careers. I already talked about that at the beginning. So the time that you're going to be dedicating to your career is going to be, and working with the career team is going to be intense. So our career team is there for you. They're very, very easily approachable. So they organize all kinds of activities going from career fairs, workshops, sectorial training, mock interviews. They're going to preparing your CV with you, doing so the mock interviews for if you're going to be doing an interview with a company. So yeah, a lot of activities here, a very diverse team and specialized by sectors. We even have a person that is working transversally on jobs with social impact, for those of you that are interested in that. Some information on our placement numbers for MSc programs. You can see that we have a very high placement in the 3 months after graduation. 93% of our students has found a job. A large majority are staying in Europe, also because a large majority are interested in staying in Europe. You can see also here the average salary after graduation. And then also after 3 years after graduation, right? Yeah, and then going to the MBA, we can see here some rankings. So our MBA has been ranked the first in Europe for salary increase in the Financial Times. Also important to know that a lot of our students are doing the triple career jump, which means changing sector, changing jobs, job position, changing country. And yeah, also 97% are doing a change, right? Which is one of the main motivations of doing an MBA, is boosting your career and leveling it up. Now, some of the companies are recruiting with us. I'm more than happy to send you the employment report, and you can have a look at all the list of companies that are regularly recruiting at Esade. So you can see that all sectors or also industries are represented. Very briefly, if you want more information on that, I can send it to you. What are the options for you after your studies? There are different kinds of visas that are now that you can apply for. Now, there is an opportunity for you to stay in Spain for 2 years, which would be then the job seeker visa. And there's also very recently an interesting visa option with the Netherlands. So they offer a 1-year job seeking visa for graduates from some business schools. Esade is one of them, which means that after graduation, you could go to the Netherlands and stay there for a year and to apply, look for jobs there. So I think that's a quite interesting option to do. Also knowing that there are a lot of job opportunities in the Netherlands, then there are other options. Digital nomad, entrepreneurship visa, and then some others that I'm more than happy to detail to you. Then my last, and then I will open the floor to questions. My last topic that I would like to mention to you is the focus that Esade has on entrepreneurship, innovation. For those of you that are interested in this, knowing that Entrepreneurship Institute is very active. Also in Africa, I've been working very closely with them on startup competitions in Kenya, in Rwanda. We did summits, roundtables on entrepreneurship. In Ghana a couple of years ago, we had one in South Africa. So for those of you that are interested, knowing that you have the opportunity to be part of their incubator program, their accelerator program, the Esade Investors Band has received an award for the best angel investors band in Europe. So we're very, very happy with that. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities for you to meet investors, to pitch your ideas if you're interested in that. So, well, this is mainly what I said, this slide. And then also, a lot of our students were able to launch their company with the support of our investors, a large majority being Esade alumni. So our alumni network is very global. So we have official chapters, but then we also have functional clubs. So once you are graduated, you can still join these clubs. You can still take advantage of the additional learning that they offer through the Alumni Association. Now, our alumni, I can't talk more highly about them because they really make my job so much easier, and to be able to count on them to help me to talk to candidates. So I'm very happy that they could all join here today. So I'm going to briefly mention their names, and then I'm going to ask them to present themselves personally. So we have Alex Phillips from South Africa and Greece. She's currently doing the international management program with us. We have Edmund Dobaza from Ghana, who's currently doing the full-time MBA and who is an Ashesi graduate, who also made it possible for me to reach out to the school and do this session. Kevin Dodder from Ghana, who graduated from the business analytics program. Samuel Alumeno, who graduated from the full-time MBA last year. Also Almhorn from Ghana, he also graduated last year. And then Ayoluwa from Nigeria, who graduated this year from the Master in Business Analytics. So, welcome all of you. Well, I would say, please also the students and alumni that are attending, feel free to open your microphone, to switch on your cameras. We want this to be an interactive session. So I would like to, well, first ask our students and alumni to briefly introduce themselves. Maybe we can start with Ayoluwa. Yeah.
Yes, hi. Sorry, I'll have a background noise. I'm Mayolua, and like Isi mentioned, I'm from Nigeria, and I just finished the Masters in Business Analytics. I'm still in Barcelona, and yeah, nice to meet you all.
All right. Thank you, Ayo. Alex?
Hi guys, I'm Alex. I'm from South Africa and I'm currently doing the Masters in Management. I started this year.
Thank you. Kevin?
Hi guys, so I'm Kevin from Ghana. I studied at University of Ghana, did my bachelor's in computer science, and then worked for a bit and did a master's in business analytics at Esade. So I'm based in Madrid currently.
Kevin, tell us a bit more about what exactly you're doing now.
So I'm working as a data analyst at a company called ETG that's into commodity trading. And so kind of trading commodities like corn, soya beans across the continent, kind of like Forex, but then for commodities. So.
Okay, all right, thanks for sharing. All right, let's move to Edmund, to the MBA alumni. Well, students. Edmund is still in Barcelona.
I'm happy to be here. My name is Edmund. Ashesi graduates class of 2014. Makes me look very old, but I'm not that old. But yeah, I finished Ashesi in 2014. I joined UBA in Ghana, worked with them for about 5 years. And I decided to move on to Fidelity Bank. I was there for almost 4 years as well. I was mainly doing finance roles, but at Fidelity, I was more in charge of strategy, formulation, and execution. So I did that for a few years, and I thought that I needed a career switch, and I needed to work outside of Ghana as well. So the MBA was a good option for me to explore. So, I mean, I've always had the MBA on my mind, so I decided to pursue the MBA. Did few research. Esade came on the radar mainly because of their ranking in entrepreneurship and because I also love the city of Barcelona. So I decided to pursue the MBA mainly to three things: to do a career change, change location, and explore other areas such as entrepreneurship as well. Because I had a business as well back home. So I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to answer your questions. I believe I've been in your shoes, so it's a better position to respond to some of your questions. So feel free to ask me any questions you have. Thanks.
Thank you, Edmund. Okay, Alhorm. Alhorm is currently in Accra too, right? We met yesterday. Himself and Samuel came to help me out at the education fair. So, Alhorm, yeah, please tell us a bit more about yourself.
Hello. Hello, everybody. My name is Elom. I'm a recent graduate. I actually graduated this year, not last year.
Yeah,
Samuel.
sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
And moved, and I'm currently working remotely from Ghana. Before joining Esade, I worked for almost 10 years in market research in Ghana, helping organizations mainly to optimize their decision making. I chose to do an MBA for two key reasons. One, I wanted to fully understand how the global business scene works and also to sharpen my entrepreneurial skills. And I think that Esade helped me achieve both. And I'm also glad to be back home to be the new and improved me. So thank you for meeting all of you. And if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer that.
Thank you. And then we have Samuel. Oh, I think I saw him. Maybe he couldn't join. I'm not sure if he's is here. Okay. In any case, I'm sure he will join us. He will join us later. So, well, I have prepared a couple of questions, and then I think we can open to the students that are here to ask their questions. So I wanted maybe to start with did you face any challenges before the program, after the program, coming from the African continent? Challenges that you think, I mean, the students that are here should take in account, and how did you resolve them, right? So let's start with that. Yeah, who wants to go? Please open your microphone. Go ahead. Yeah.
So I guess I'll start with that. Since I probably maybe faced one of the greatest challenges with regards to that. So one of the challenges I came across was with visa. So getting a visa on time. So that was partly my fault as well for not applying as early as I should. And I would say with regards to a solution, Esade was able to connect me with the right people, also was also able to make calls to the embassy as well to try and speed up the process.
Oh, yeah, I think Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin
I mean,
connected.
just to add on to what Kevin was saying, visa application was also a challenge for me as well. It was more in terms of the timing, because I practically was in Barcelona before my resignation was effective. So that was a big challenge. I would have wished that I came earlier, because I came in on Saturday. And then I started classes on Monday. So, I mean, there were a few people that were in the city, connected with people, build relationships before classes started. So it made things easier. But because of the visa delay, I mean, Osi was super helpful with that. I think she has a relationship with the ambassador. She keeps texting him, badging him. But I think that was one of the biggest challenge for me personally. And yeah.
Okay, just saying there. I mean, it is important to apply on time, not wait until July, of course, because of the visa procedure, because of also, well, the scholarships. We won't have any NEET scholarship available anymore. Our budget for the Excellence Award will be very, very low by then. But then also for those of you that want to apply for a loan, although the bank, I mean, we do pressure them and you might get a decision in 1 month, but I mean, it might take longer, right? So that's why it's important to start your application on time to avoid all that. Regarding the visa, so once you are enrolled in the program and you have paid the deposit fee, you will receive an official letter, and with that letter you can start your visa application. Of course, as Edmund said, I mean, the school has relations. We build relations with embassies and consulates. We also have a student advisor. So far we always manage to get everybody in Barcelona and to keep them there for the program. But of course, I mean, with a little bit, working in advance and applying on time will surely help. Anybody else who wants to add something to this?
Samuel here. I didn't introduce myself earlier. So I haven't
Samuel.
However, I think with respect to applying for the visa, in the process of applying for it, one of the good things is that you have a number of us here who have been through the process. So we understand what you need to get, who you need to contact. There are a few things you have to do, like ratify documents, etc. All those things we've done before. And so just reaching out to us would help ease the process for you. And I believe once you get into the process, Rusi will be able to put you in touch with any one of us who can help make the process easier for you. Yeah. So just to add that.
Thank you, Samuel. Thank you, Samuel. So I would like to ask you a little more about who is with you in class. Tell us a little more about the diversity. Who would like to share his or her experience?
Yeah, I can go since I was already.
Okay, Samuel, and then Alex.
I think one of the things that really blew my mind is how small Esade is in terms of the class size, and yet still how diverse it was. So we were just about 180 students in the MBA program in my cohort. And with that 180 students, we had about close to 50 nationalities that was part of the 180 cohort just in the MBA. And so that really, in the class, you really get exposed to different cultures, different ideologies, how different people from different countries see things. There was this particular program course we had in negotiations where we're pit against, in the groups, you're pit against different countries. And once you started negotiating with one country, you immediately have a sense of how they sort of go about negotiating things. So I was pit against a Japanese, and we were given a deal that we had to negotiate. And you could immediately see some of what, just to, quote unquote, the weaknesses versus someone who is coming from Ghana and having to haggle with people on the street constantly around prices. Immediately have a sense of, what you can learn from them and what they can also learn from you. So that cultural exposure from people from different countries is what's amazing in Esade. And also people coming from different industries in the same classroom, learning together, was really amazing.
Thank you, Samuel. Alex, you wanted to say something, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of echo that. I think in one of my classes, someone said the other day, you'll never probably in your whole life again be in a room where you are in such a small room with so many different nationalities all at once. And it's so true and it's so mind-opening and exciting. I mean, I come from South Africa, and the whole narrative in South Africa is we're the rainbow nation, and there's different, like 11 official languages and so many different cultures and people, and it's true. So I came into Esade thinking like being in a diverse environment is normal for me. And it just blew my mind open because it's not. Like it's absolutely amazing being exposed to people from all over the world. You've got like a person from Lebanon on your right, a person from Germany on your left, and you just get the most amazing array of experiences. So it's definitely one of the best things about Esade.
Thank you, Alex. So in my presentation, I talked about, well, the different ways how you can have this global outreach. Of course, besides the diversity that you have physically with you in class, I wanted to ask you if you could, tell us a bit more about how you were able to get this global exposure during the program. Edmund.
Yeah, I can take that. I think Esade is a pretty global institution, mainly because of two things I would say personally experience. I mean, in terms of the course structure itself, you are exposed to what happens in Europe and what happens in the US, for instance. But if you were to go into like an MBA in the US, for instance, because their market is so big, they mainly would focus on the US market. But in Europe, you tend to both the European market, and they expose you to what happens in the US. I mean, that is expected. And then secondly, for me, for instance, I got the chance to go on a study tour in Dubai to just explore the Middle East market. And that was one of the best experiences in the MBA. I mean, not only for the fact that we were lodging in a 5-star hostel and then just exploring the city of Dubai, but the fact that we're immersed in the culture in there, especially how people do business in the Middle East and Dubai specifically. So we delve into the nuances. We had speakers who came to introduce us as to ways of doing business, how to approach people in the workspace. I mean, we take it for granted, but it's really different there, and how to negotiate and get deals done. We know that Dubai is mainly driven by the public sector. So if you want to get things done, you need to approach the public sector in a certain way. And some of those nuances in there. And then we met a traditional family how they live there. So to be able to decide if you want to work there or not. And that is one of the interesting things in terms of from a global perspective. And also I've had classmates go on exchange to the US, for instance, different schools like you mentioned. And I think that's also one insightful thing.
Yes, Alharm, you went to Canada, right, for your exchange program, if I'm not mistaken?
I did my exchange in Canada in McGill. So I was there from January to May, which was a very interesting experience because prior to going to Canada, I was the exchange, one of the places I was considering post-MBA to seek employment was in Canada. So having the opportunity to visit there and do an exchange there made me make a decision on whether Canada is a place I would like to live long term or not. So, which is a good way to also experience some of the places that you're looking to settle post your master's. So for me, that was an eye opener for me to decide, okay, I don't perhaps want to be in Canada as much as I thought. So the MBA overall provides those opportunities. I think Samuel and I also worked on a project for the CERN, the Nuclear Institute in Geneva, for 3 months as well. So we had an opportunity to be in Geneva on about 2 or 3 different occasions, being on the campus of CERN, and then working with a very multidisciplinary team outside Esade to come up with innovations to some of the most to SDG goal challenges. So those were some of the impressionable experiences during the MBA.
Yeah, I would like to ask you about your experience with working with a career team. I know that, well, Samuel, you did your internship at Amazon. Would you like to share a bit more about how that worked? How were you able to secure this internship, and how was the experience?
Yeah, definitely will share that. I think one of the key things, and when you first come to Esade, you would be assigned to a career officer. One of the key things you get to learn early on is deciding what your end goal is. Already, one advice that Usru will even give you is coming into the MBA is usually useful if you have an end goal in mind. And so the first time I met this career service person, she told me it's important to think about what my end goal is. Am I thinking about being in tech, being in consulting, etc.? And tech was where I was mainly aiming for. So she told me early on to start preparing for the opportunities that are available in tech. And one of them was the Amazon launch internship, which I think has changed now to a full program. So the preparation is quite rigorous, and you have to prepare in advance. So knowing that these are some of the opportunities you are aiming for is useful. And then it helps you to already start preparing way in advance so that when the opportunity opens up and the applications are opened, you already are prepared to sort of put your best foot forward. So that was really the story for me. I was preparing in advance. I spent a lot of time preparing for the Amazon application. You need to have stories. So preparing my stories and thinking through what the interview was going to be like, practicing. Eventually, also, I got a lot of guidance from the career office, definitely, and a lot of resources. So we used all of that to prepare, was assigned to to people who already been to the process to have like practice interview sessions with them as well. And eventually when their application opened up and applied and I got to the interview stage, I was able to succeed and then got into the program. So I was assigned in the internship, I was assigned to the Amazon Prime Video department, and I worked with the head of content acquisition for the Benelux region in Amsterdam, mainly thinking through the different contents that they have in the Amazon library and how I could help, make those content better. So we're looking for content that was driving engagement and how they can improve showing those kinds of content to viewers, and then also acquire more of those kinds of content. So that was sort of the project I worked on, which was pretty exciting. Yeah.
Thank you, Samuel. I would also like to ask our MSc students, graduates, how was your experience with working with the career team? What opportunities have you seen that you maybe haven't thought about before doing the program? Who would like to comment on that? And then I would like to open the floor so that the Ashesi students can ask you their questions.
So I'm happy to answer that one, Ursi. So I'm obviously right at the beginning of my application process for jobs. I mean, when you get to Esade, you're very much told by the career service you have to start applying straight away because that's what the cycles are and that's how competitive it is here. So that was definitely a bit of a rude awakening for me, coming from South Africa where that's not the case. But they are so supportive and so helpful. But I would like to just mention to everyone, if you do end up coming to Esade, it's very much on you to use the career service. They don't chase you around, but if you use every benefit that you get from being at Esade, there's so much to offer. So, for example, I have an interview tomorrow, and the career service offered me like two mock interviews, and it's a consulting interview. So I have to do cases, and they give you free access to this really amazing platform to practice cases. So that's been really, really beneficial.
Thank you. Kevin, how was your experience?
Yeah, also to add to what Alex said, so there are also CV review sessions and cover letter sessions to help you with the application process as well. So it's not just kind of putting jobs in front of you and just forcing you to apply to them. They also help you with the preparation that goes into drafting a CV. There's also an amazing tool called I think CV Mock that helps you also be able to create your own CV and then ensure that you have the keywords kind of like written in a format which is more presentable professionally as well. And also like I think Samuel has also touched upon, you could directly consult with them, the career services, for guidance on not only the industry to work in, but then also the country to work in as well, and then how that relates to you as a person coming from Ghana, like myself. So that way you know what to expect during interviews, what to say, or how to answer some questions that might come up with regards to visa in some of the interviews you would be attending also.
Thank you, Kevin. All right, so I'm sure that there's still a lot of questions from our students. I would like to suggest to switch on your camera so that we can also see you. Would be nice. And feel free to just go ahead, open the camera, ask your question. Who wants to go first? You see, we have about 15 students here. So who would like to ask a question? I still have a lot of questions, so I can go ahead, but I prefer that, yeah. Yes. No?
Yoni, Kevin, Fafa, Alberta, Nuseba, all my good people. It's great to see your faces and to ask questions.
Yes. I would love to see everybody. No. Well, I will go ahead. I think there's Kelly. Do you have a question? No? All right, so then I'll ask another question that could be of your interest, and which goes about time management, right? Because I mean, the programs are. Oh, yes, there is a question from Akwasi.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah,
Welcome.
yeah, I think during one of your presentations, you spoke about the importance of having an end goal. So I wanted to ask, is there any resources that you have that helps like people to find directions when they are conflicted about what they intend to do? Can you?
Yeah, I could take that. So I think that is one of the things the career service helps with. Usually, when you come, they like to assign you to sort of the industry you're aiming for, especially in the MBA. And so we have a few people who they sort of call the explorers, who are not really sure where they want to be, because they're still sort of trying to figure out what should be their next jump in terms of career. And so they have a lot of sessions where there's a lot of guidance around, how to come to that decision. So that particular lot that is created for the explorers, it's a great place to sort of identify what should be your target industry, or maybe where should you start from, and it's more about starting from somewhere, and then deciding that, okay, this didn't work for me, I need to try this other career path. So I wasn't part of the explorers, so I don't have the details of it, but I know there is this lot that is created for them to help them find what their career path should be.
All right, thank you.
I think
Yeah,
also to add to that, oh sure, go
okay.
on, Edmund.
No, Kevin, keep on.
Yeah, I was going to say, so there are career fairs as well, where companies from different sectors also come in to talk about their organizations and the type of work that they go about doing. So if there's maybe something you are not sure of, you get to hear about the company first, firsthand, get to know what's maybe you went through, what you've gone through, that's on a day-to-day. That way you could see if it's something you're interested in. And also Esade, I would say, tries to connect you with alumni like ourselves, where if it's maybe a certain sector or a certain organization you're interested in working for, you could also get to directly talk with someone to see if it's something you'd be willing to do long term also.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, I just wanted to share personal experience. I wasn't an explorer. I knew what I wanted. I thought I wanted to go into consulting prior to the MBA, but I think sometimes the exposure you have just in terms of the cost structure, the events, which is going to be an important aspect of the MBA, for instance, it's important in shaping what you finally decide on. So maybe you don't necessarily have to have an exact end goal in mind. The MBA itself is positioned in such a way that it helps you shape your mind to decide on, this is where I want to go finally. So yeah, that's what I wanted to add.
Thank you, Edmund. There's a question from Yoni. Hi, Yoni.
Yes, hello, hi.
Welcome. I can hear, I think we can hear you. Yeah, please go ahead.
Amazing. So thank you very much for the opportunity. I wanted to ask about the application process, because I realized that everyone who is speaking so far has like at least a fair amount of work experience. So I wanted to ask if not having enough work experience would affect like the application, and if that would affect your progress even if you are accepted into the program, because sitting in a class with people who have 10 years, 5 years experience when you have just a year's experience with an internship can be intimidating.
Yes, I can take that. I can take that question. So for the master programs, for our MSc programs, we don't require work experience. So there are a good number of students that do have internship experience, and it will add value to your profile, right? But you must know that, and you might have seen the class profile, that the average age is 23, 24. There are some students that have 1 or 2 years of work experience, while for the MBA, we do require work experience, right? And there, it's going to be a personal, we're going to have a detailed conversation about that. We're going to see what is your profile, what experience you have. If your profile, if you say, no, I want to start this year, then it might be a master program that could be a better fit for you. If you say, look, no, I'm really interested in a full-time MBA, you might need to wait 2 or 3 years to have this minimum work experience. We say 2 years of work experience for the full-time MBA, but honestly, I don't know of any student that only has 2. So the average is 6 years. We have been, for example, also redirecting some candidates that wanted to apply for the master program, but then going through their profile and saying, look, oh, I mean, you have 2.5 years of work experience and a solid work experience. It doesn't, I mean, we don't require managerial experience to do your MBA program, right? But there might be a candidate that has been very entrepreneurial, set up his business, has been working on international level, has 2.5 years of work experience. So if a candidate like that will apply for the master program, we will guide this candidate and say, oh, taking into account your profile, the experience, your motivation, it might be for you, it's going to be a better choice to go to the MBA, because you're gonna, when you graduate from the MBA program, of course, you're gonna enter the company in a higher level than if you would graduate from the master program. But I mean, that's why our team is there for, right? Really to guide you to see what are your interests, where do you see yourself in the short term, in the long term, and then guide you and assess you with the choice of the best program. Yeah. Did I answer your question, Yanni?
Yes,
Yeah.
please, thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Any other question? Well, maybe just your experience of living in Barcelona. How is it? Because I mean, coming from an African country, everybody likes Barcelona, but how did you integrate? Was it easy? How's your experience, your day-to-day experience of living in Barcelona? I think, I'm not sure if Ayolua is still here. Yeah?
Sorry.
Yes, Ayolua. Tell us a bit more
Yeah.
about your experience of living in Barcelona and your integration in Esade, but then also in the city and a country like Spain.
Okay, so for me, living in Barcelona has been amazing. I do love the weather. It's not so far apart from Nigeria. Can you hear me?
Yes, maybe if you can talk a little bit louder. For me, it's a little bit difficult to hear you.
Okay, let me try. Thank you.
How about now? Is this better?
Yes, much better.
Okay. So I was saying that living in Barcelona has been quite amazing for me. I'm so sorry about the background voices. Yeah, so it's been good. I really enjoy the city, and I enjoy that there's lots to do, right? Integrating into the city has been great, right? I do love that. I do love the transport system in Barcelona, right? And I also, according to, I mean, in my class, I enjoy the fact that as an introvert, kind of, I could integrate more with my teams. So that way I was able to, I had, I mean, for every team, for the 3 terms, I had different teams with people from different countries. So I was able to relate with different people from different countries, get to know about their country, and it helped me have an idea of like other cities, and yeah. Sorry about that. But yeah, that's basically it. I'm so sorry.
Okay, thank you, Ayolua. Kelly, you have a question?
Yes, please. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask, earlier in the presentation, you showed us a host of visa options that we could apply for with regards to going to a study. Could you please touch on that, especially with us students here, which would be the most ideal one for us to take, assuming that we want to study Esade? Thank you.
Yes. No. Before you start your studies, of course, you will have to apply for a student visa, right? Because you're going to be in Barcelona full time. So with admissions letter that Esade, once you enroll, is gonna send to you, you will apply for that visa, for a student visa. Now, once you are graduated for the program, for those of you, of course, that have not a job immediately after graduation, right? There is an option to stay longer in Spain. And then I would say the most common visa would be, in case you don't have a job, would be that you're looking for a job, right? And that would be then the job seeking visa, which gives you the opportunity to stay for 2 more years in Barcelona. The other visas, I'm not going to detail too much about that because, I mean, if you go for the entrepreneurship visa, there are some requirements for you. Of course, you have to have a business plan that you have to present through the town hall. But I have the details on a specific presentation and I can send it to you. But I would say the most easy way for you to stay in Barcelona while looking for a job would be the job seeking visa, which is 2 years. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Welcome. Any other question? Well, then maybe one last question would be about the time management, right? So the programs are very intense. I receive sometimes a question from candidates, oh, can I work during the program? So maybe your feedback there, how you combine your time at the school with your social life, family life. Some of you have their own projects going on. We have some entrepreneurs that are doing the MBA that, of course, during the program, being so intense, it's not going to be possible, right, to work 100%. But there are some of our students that are still involved in their projects, in their startups, some of them, and then I mean, will count on a partner to work on, I mean, to lead the startup, but then still being involved in a way like what they learn in the MBA program or in the master program, apply immediately then also in their projects. So that would be an advantage, but knowing that it will be impossible, it's an experience that you will do maybe only once in your life. So I think you should take the most out of it and do as many as additional activities, join clubs, do the tours, network, and do an internship, do the electives, to take the most out of it, right? But I wanted to ask our students and alumni about their experience, how they manage their time, how intense is the program?
I can take that. I think in the MBA, it's a full-time MBA. I would say you can't work. But I had a business back home, so I would say I dedicated about 2 to 3 hours in a week for that. I was able to do that. But we say in the MBA there are 3 things: is sleep, social, or studies. You can't do all 3 of them. Uh, you need to choose your poison. So you need to really manage your time around that. Do you want to sleep the optimum? You can do that, but you will not be able to social or study properly. But I mean, for MBA full-time student, I think it's how you manage those 3 that makes your experience holistic, right? So for me, I would say less sleep, more social and studies. But it's more around getting to connect with people, building a network that you need for your job search or your future projects that you are thinking of. But I think it is possible to do in terms of if you have a startup and you have a partner that works on it full time, you can still come for the MBA. I don't know about the MSCs, maybe someone else can share, but For the MBA, if you have a full-time partner, you can still work around, because I was able to dedicate about 2-3 hours a week for that. And that's what I have to share about that. And I know Ashesi students, the program is really intense as well. So you guys would have it figured out. So it shouldn't be a problem for time management for them, I would say.
Yes, I can touch a bit about my experience with MSc. So it was well engaging as well. But then I would say you don't have a class the entire day. So you could have classes either in the mornings or in the evenings. So there's still time for yourself to maybe do some revision. There's also the collaboration that you have to do with your course mates as well. So that time as well you could use for collaborating with people. In that way, it kind of like takes the load down a bit so that we are not doing too much, like to the extent where you'd end up burnt out. But then also you're not doing nothing. So you get to like work with people, and then also how do I put it? Reduce the amount of work that you could do. With regards to outside of school as well, I would say Barcelona also helps, well, not helps, it's an open city, international city. So you're not always indoors scared that, oh, there's nothing for me to do. As someone coming from Ghana, there are events that would help with so like Edmond mentioned, having a social life. I think I quite remember going out one day and just randomly hearing someone speak Cree. So I think that also helps with being able to, find things to do outside of school in terms of managing your time also. So.
All right. Maybe I would like to ask all of you, as a very last question, what would be your advice to the students here of Ashesi that are here with us? Any advice you would like to give him? Kevin, maybe you're here. Maybe you can go first if you think of some advice.
So I would say go for it, and go for it as early as possible. Just so you could secure admission on time, secure a scholarship if that's something you're interested in, and then also be able to begin your applications on time for your visa. So I would say that's my advice. Yeah.
Thank you. Alex, you're muted. Yeah.
I'll echo that. When you asked for advice, the first thing I thought of was just do it. Like, if you can, it's such an amazing experience. There'll be highs and lows, but overall, today I was sitting in class thinking this is so, so great. So I really recommend.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, maybe just do it. I mean, have a plan and execute it. Figure out what you want to do, and if it is aligned with what Esade is saying or what this Esade is about, you go for it. I would want to reiterate that Esade is very collaborative. I know people that practically struggled because they wanted the very competitive environment, and Esade is not that. So you can sort of understand what the school is about, and then if it's aligned with your goals, you go for it, definitely. Don't waste the time. If it's what you want, it's definitely a place to be. And I would recommend everyone to be here.
Checking if Samuel is still there. No. Ayolua, you're still there. Any advice from your side?
Yeah, I still am. Okay, I'm so sorry. Right. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. For me, I'm just like everyone has said, I would be strategic, right? Know what you want, and like Edmond said, you go for it. But most importantly, be strategic, and it's gonna work out at the end of it.
Thank you, Ayolua. Thank you so much. Well, I don't know if Mr. Ibrahim, would you like to add something? Any comments from my side? Thanks a lot for making this happen. I don't know if you would like to add something from your side.
Yes, Ushi, thank you. Thank you very much for making it happen. It's unfortunate you couldn't make it on campus today because of the situation. Um, as they were talking or speaking, I was just trying to figure out what you do in your office that we can also do in career services. Because they're highly speaking of what you guys do. Kevin, Edmund, Alex, Ailu, everybody's speaking highly of career services. So maybe we have to talk offline behind the scenes to see what you do. So thank you very much for that. If there's anything that we can do to expedite processes, to make things easier for you, Usi, Esade, and squad, please let me know.
Right. So from my side, I will send in the coming days, I will try to do it tomorrow. I will send an email to all the Ashesi students with some more information. I also would like to suggest to check out the Africa YouTube channel that I'm going to be including in my email. It's an initiative that I launched a couple of years ago, and I've been adding sessions like this to the channel. With students from the African continent talking about their experiences. So it could be valuable additional information, also hearing from more students. And then, so yeah, I will send all this information to you. I will also send my Calendly there if those of you that would like to have a personal talk with me. I would love to hear about your motivations, what you're looking for. I would love to talk to you and also further assess you, see what are the possibilities, and if you have a program that could be a good fit for you. So I will also include my agenda there. And so yeah, so I'm going to be happy. As I mentioned also that we are happy to offer an application waiver to all the Ashesi graduates. So yeah, that will make things also easier. And then yeah, I think we just have to also make and work on the financing. I know that is also very important. We're very aware of that, right? And but I can say that I'm a good fighter for my African candidates. So I will do everything I can do to help with the financing and guide you through the entire process. Right.
Ushi, thank
And
you
then,
very much for
yes,
that.
you're welcome.
In this economy, 130 euros is a lot of money. So thank you
Yes.
very much for that.
Yes.
For the folks who
Yes.
didn't originally sign up and joined today, do you need any of the information or it's already captured?
No, I have all the information. I have all the emails.
Okay.
So I will send out this additional information, and then hopefully hearing back from all of you and being able to talk to you face to face online. I will be back, so I hope next time when I come, I can visit the campus. I was really looking forward to that. So for sure, I will reach out. But in the meantime, happy to have a conversation online. Thanks to all the Esade students, alumni for being here again and sharing your experience and wishing you a lovely evening, and I'll see some of you on campus next week when I'm back. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Have a lovely
good night.
evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.